Hello everyone, this video is my final exam for private international law. And in this video, I'm going to talk about private international law. First, I want to introduce myself. My name is Meliana. I'm from University International Batam. And then I'm a student of Faculty of Law. And my NPM is 1951072. And in this video, I'm going to talk about private international law. For the first, I will explain about what is the private international law. Definition of private international law. Definition of private international law is the body of conventions, model laws, national laws, legal goods, and other documents and instruments that regulate private relationship across national borders. Private international law has a dualistic characters, balancing international concepts with domestic recognition and implementation, as well as balancing sovereign action with those of the private sector. Subject of private international law can be described as those person of or entities who process international personality. And then took most of its history conflict of laws on something more substantive than ordinary law. It was somehow felt that a set of rules that determine how far the legal system of a state can extend internationally must derive its authority from something more elevated than the legal system itself. That very name, private international law, suggests that it is a branch of international law. Despite its name, however, private international law is just a branch of the ordinary law of the land. It has no special authority. And then the next is the concept of private international law. The concept of private international law or international private law governs the choice of law to apply when there are conflicts in the domestic law of different countries relate to private transaction. This means that there is a dispute or a transaction that involves one of the following. The first we have what jurisdiction applies, choice of court, forum selection, or renvoi. The word jurisdiction has several meanings. Apart from meaning a territory subject to the control of a particular court, it refers to the power of a governmental entity to do something. Jurisdiction in the sense can be divided between domestic internal jurisdiction and international jurisdiction. The former is concurrent with the power of different governmental organs within the country concurrent. For example, the division of power between the executive and the legislatures. This is usually a matter of constitutional law. It is of no concerns of. It will mean that jurisdiction will become unimportant, something that will justify the disdain for jurisdictional matters felt by many conflict readers in the past. However, it is not true that outcome for a case depends much more jurisdiction than choice of law. And then the second is choice of applicable law. Choice of law is a procedural stage in the litigation of a case involving the conflict of laws when it is necessary to reconcile the difference between the laws of different legal jurisdiction. It is choice of the applicable law. The court that exercise jurisdiction determines which law to apply to a case that involves foreign parties, foreign transactions, and or a number of foreign is element. And the last is recognition or enforcement of a foreign judgment. The The enforcement of foreign judgment is the recognition and enforcement in one jurisdiction of judgments rendered in another foreign jurisdiction. Foreign judgment may be recognized based on bilateral or multilateral treaties or understandings, or unilaterally without an express international agreement. And next, legal action of private international law. Private international law deals with a variety of topics, such as international contracts, torts or lex loci, family matters, recognition of judgment, child adoption and abduction, and real property lex city, and the last is intellectual property. And next, connecting factors. And the first we have Lex 40. Lex 40 is a choice of law rule. If applicable, it provides that the law of the jurisdiction or venue in which a legal action is brought applies. Lex 40. And the next, we have Lex loci solutionis. Lex loci solutionis is the place where we don the engine common. And then we have Lex loci damni. Lex loci damni, a place where the accident will happen. And next we have Lex causa. Lex causa is determine which kind of law would be used. And next we have Lex loci delicti commissi. Lex loci delicti commissi is the place where the detriment was happen. Lex loci arbitri. Lex loci arbitri is the place where the arbitration has determined. And the next connecting factor is Lex loci celebrationis. Lex loci celebrationis is the place where the members celebrate their marriage. And next, Lex patriae. Lex patriae is the nationality of the member. And next we have Lex situs. Lex situs is where was the property. And next we have Lex loci contractus. Lex loci contractus is the place where the member was signed the engine common. And the next, Lex domicili. Lex domicili is the domicile of the member. And the last is Lex loci actus. Lex loci actus is the place where the engine common was held. Okay. In this sake, we have case. The case is, I take the case is the Etertes Russian Agency. The case of the Etertes Russian Agency against the Russian Courier Agency related to copyright. This case began when a Russian citizen named Mr. A copied and disseminated literary works of a citizen of the United States, Mr. B. This duplication was carried out in England and disseminated in China. In this case, there are four countries, namely Russia, the country of the perpetrators, the United States, the person whose copyright has been violated, and then the United Kingdom, the place where the violation occurred, and China, the place of dissemination. The copyright work in dispute is the work of a Russian citizen. This copyright work was first published in Russia and the country of origin in Russia. If American citizens want to claim compensation from Russian citizens who have violated their copyright, okay? And then first, we must be take the characterization. Mr. A lacks patria in Russia and lacks domicile United States, and Mr. B lacks patria in United States, lacks domicile in United States, and we know is lacks 40 in Russia and lacks loci delicti commissi in England, and the last lex cause is United States. And we must be take an incidental question. I have one incidental question. It is, can the state of China not be said to be a rule of law where illegal acts occurs or lex loci delicti commissi? Because in terms of distribution, can it be likened to copyright infringement too? And then I think the solution is, in the dispute between the Itar-Tesh Russian agency and the Russian courier, the forum which is authorized to decide dispute in this is the United States Court. In order to benefit the dividend Mr. A, the New York court was chosen as a place to resolve dispute based on the principle of basis of presence and the principle of forum of convenience. This is because Russian courier as the defendant is domiciled in New York, United States. To determine lex cause, then, the first stage, lex 40 judges use the law on the basis of the copyright work in dispute is the work of a Russian citizen. This copyright work was first published in Russia, and the country of origin is Russia. After Judge Lex 40 ruled that the Russian law used by the judge to qualify. And the second stage, at this stage, the judge sees the based on the provisions of Russian legislation. This case is classified based on ownership, and Russian law decides that the law which applies to ownership is the law of the owner. That is, American law does the job. And the last is, then the lex causa is American law or United States law. Okay, thank you for watching.